Oh God.
Hey, Adelaide, how are you doing? Really nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm actually busy right now. But yeah, no, we should we'll go for a coffee. Just not like now. Next Tuesday.
I like coffee. I like Tuesdays. Let's do it. I'll see you next week. Adelaide, how are you doing? You up for our coffee? I've already had one.
When I said we should go for coffee, what I actually meant was I don't want to see you. I was being polite. Yeah, did you not pick up on the subtleties?
I just thought you wanted to go for coffee.
So, how many people relate to that interaction where there's an ulterior motive, where yes doesn't mean yes, and you really thought you were going to have that coffee catch up with that friend from high school? Because this happens a lot. This is one of the social difficulties that many of us on the spectrum have, and it is not understanding the social cues and the politeness, taking things literally at face value.
Being autistic, I really value people being honest and to the point. And it's what I give to other people. So I like it when it's reciprocated, and I understand it better when it's reciprocated. So when somebody says to me, do you want to go for coffee next week? Or, we should go for coffee next week. I think we should. I don't understand, usually maybe until a bit further down the line when I've had a lot of time to process that interaction, that the other person might just be, for example, not wanting to go for coffee, but trying to make that interaction go a little easier for both of us. And actually, in a sense, it might actually come from a good place. They might be thinking, well, neither of us want coffee with each other, but it will make it easier to just pretend. Understanding that might come from a good place. But for me, it's like learning to tie my shoelaces over and over again in those situations, because I've got to mechanically stop, think about it, retrospectively usually, and process that person really just didn't mean what they were saying. They really just didn't. And they thought I was playing the game as well.
So it seems that most people have like a rule book on socializing that they've just automatically been born with, in the same way that normal people can filter out and process sensory information and not get distracted. It's the same with socializing. So it's quite taxing to have to, it's fresh every time when something like this happens and we have to manually decode things. I think a lot of us, we are searching for like truth and honesty all the time. We expect authenticity and we expect honesty. Basically, when we have to decode a conversation manually, it can be quite distressing. In that coffee shop example where I was playing a neurotypical person, like these things do happen a lot.
Come on, get up and dance like the rest of us. Come on, we're all just having fun. Why don't you have fun as well? Why did you even come to this party if you can just sit there and just be grumpy?
That was really good. Sometimes when you reach a point in a social setting, like a busy party or function, you get to the point where you are unable to mask anymore. You hit like a breaking point, and you get this blunted effect to your personality where you just can't hide your exhaustion anymore and how uncomfortable you are.
Really good skit.
I'm still laughing a little bit from that. That was quite good fun. We should do more skits like that. Yeah, I've had this time and time again. Yeah, like, what's the matter? You're so grumpy. And I'm genuinely like, I wasn't grumpy. Maybe I'm not in like an ecstatic, extroverted state. My brain, my neurology is trying to recover when I'm in the sort of state that Adelaide is in, just there in our skit. Like, it just needing to process the information that we've already received at that party and other things going on in our life, and we just need a little bit of time to just go into a bit of a daze, what might look like a trance even. It's just our body trying its best to process and to be present and to not make our comorbidities even worse. A lot of us as autistic people, we've got this thing called what we call comorbidities, where masking, the effects of masking cause us mental health issues, for example, depression, anxiety, okay, and they can get worsened by being forced to dance and get up and smile and not bring the mood down in a party or a situation. Our bodies are very intelligent, and they're telling us to just stop smiling when you don't want to, stop dancing if you don't want to, and just be still.
Pressure, there's so much pressure though to have a good time. This was really difficult when I first started trying to go out for drinks when I was like 18. Like the group of people I with, it dawned on me, these people are actually having a good time, and I was pretending to, I was trying to have a good time. But this pressure I put on myself to have a good time, yeah, I just couldn't figure it out, because it was I was trying to have a good time, but I couldn't. And the more I try, the more pressure I'd put on myself to enjoy something the way you're supposed to enjoy it, the more fatigued I'd feel, the more burnout. So I was trying to achieve something that isn't achievable for me. But the pressure to be somewhere and to be the best version of yourself is like hard in general, I think, to kind of bring what people expect of you. So if people expect the masking version of you, and you keep trying to give them the masking version of you, it just burns you out. Like it's...
Yeah, so I'd just like to add to this that, for the most part, the neurotypical in the example there, the crazy dancing person who's trying to pull the autistic person into the happy space as they see it, and so on and so forth. They're coming from a good place, and it's really important for us to realize that and know that as an autistic person. It provides a lot of relief, I find, just to be like, you know what, I see it from their perspective. They think I'm being grumpy. They think I just need to, a little push and a bit more alcohol or whatever it is, and I just need to get up and dance and just be like them. But it comes from a good place. As the autistic person, you need to do the best that you can to advocate for yourself and to try and be as clear as you can to the neurotypical people in this situation. But yeah, just to see it from the other person's perspective, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the more people know about you and the accommodations you need, the easier things will be. Especially useful after my diagnosis, because I started to set my own social rules. Like I started to, before going to a social event, I would plan how long I was going to stay there. I would tell people like, I can only stay an hour. I basically set up like a socializing boundary kind of plan, so I wouldn't ever be in the situation where I wasn't comfortable and would have to like run away or like abruptly leave. Set the bar as low as you want for socializing. So if you can only manage small groups, one-on-one, or like an hour at a time somewhere busy, you can honor that and accommodate that. And the more people know about your boundaries, the better. Some people won't understand, and you might just have to say like, oh, I've got trombone practice in 2 hours, I can't stay, badminton training at 4:30. But hopefully most people in your life, you can tell them like, look, like I've realized like my social battery is really low. I'm not actually shy, I'm not in a bad mood, I just have a lower social tolerance than the average person. People will accommodate you. It's amazing how many people will understand.
Yeah, just to add one more thing there, to follow on from this whole, as an autistic person, trying your best to see the situation from the neurotypical's perspective, or from the neurotypical's mechanisms that lead up to their perspective, right? Is that they might think in this situation, if they are, again, just to remind you, they're the dancer, they're trying to pull you into the dancing situation, that exactly when you kind of go like, no, I don't want to dance kind of thing, they might see it as rejection. It's been said to me recently, and it was really sad actually, similar-ish sort of situation. I was at a family event and I was just needing some space. It wasn't very clear maybe that that's what I needed, and instead I was just a bit kind of like, non-verbal, which I actually kind of was, semi-non-verbal at the time. But my family member said to me about this other family member, they might see it as rejection. They might feel like you're rejecting them by not wanting to join in, having a cup of tea and biscuits or, whatever the example is. The point is, that we don't want to, especially people we love and care about, we don't want them to feel rejected by us. So this is why it's so important that we advocate for ourselves and we explain ourselves, and to just say, I'm not rejecting you when I need time out. My nervous system needing to function in this world in a different way to yours.
Yeah, it's never anything personal. So those were some social difficulties that a lot of us on the spectrum can face. I hope you can relate to these, and you can let us know in the comments any examples that you might want to share. It was really nice making another video with Yogatistic here. I will link his channel below. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.